ReefDudes is sponsored by Ecotech Marine and Bulk Reef Supply. Today we're getting a 7-month update on the Reefbot Lab. What's going on, guys? Devin from ReefDudes. Now, I've been asked a ton of times the past couple months for an update on the Reefbot. So this is the Reefbot Lab. It's been in about 7-8 months now since it's been running, so I figure it's about time to give it a proper review. Definitely have some experience with it now, and yeah, it's been running for quite a while. So first things first, up until last night, it's been very reliably testing, pretty much without issue. I did have to do some maintenance. It quit testing on me last week because the needle hit its max, number of punctures, so I had to replace the needle on it. Not a big deal. And then last night, I went to go kick off a bunch of tests. I woke up this morning, and it said, oh, the test failed for whatever reason. So I popped it open today, and there was actually a crack in the tubing that goes to a little water vial. So not quite sure why, but there was a little bit of a break in the tubing. Cut this off and then reattached it. We ran all my tests today, back in business. So I'm not quite sure why. I'm pretty certain that's just the RODI line for it, so I'm not quite sure why that one would have broke or if it corroded over time, but it was a pretty easy fix. So that's honestly the only issue that I've had with it, ironically, the night before I filmed. So I just kind of figured that out last night and fixed it up. And, it took 5-10 minutes, not the end of the world. The big vials in this thing, this is probably one of my favorite parts, is how much these vials hold. Like, they hold a lot. There is 60 mil, I believe there is in there. So you refill. I don't think I've actually refilled these since I set it up. Now that being said, most stuff I only test, once a week. So it lasts quite a long time, especially when you have a lot, 3 or 4 kits of reagent that I can hold within one container. And that's pretty sweet. But I do love the low maintenance from that aspect. Every 60 tests, it does want you to replace the needle. So yeah, that's something I just had to do last night. So I didn't realize it wasn't testing for a little bit when I looked at the data on my results. I hadn't tested in a couple weeks, and then I found out why. So that's a pretty quick and easy fix. Aside from that, yeah, it's been working reliably. You definitely know when it's testing. It's not the quietest thing in the world, but it's not terrible. If you have a 3D printer, the bzzz sounds like the motors and the servos and all that jazz going. That's basically the kind of sound you're going to get out of all the stepper motors. So very similar. A couple little things with this. Initially, when I did it, one of the comments that I made was that when you're refilling the vials, you couldn't necessarily do a custom amount, just reset it. Now, either I missed it before or I just tried it today, but yes, you can say, okay, there's 19 mils and hit save, and that does work. So that made me happy, and I don't know if that's a new addition or something I just missed it the first time, but I'm happy you can see that now. The light on this is always on. I do wish you had a way to turn it off. I mean, it's under my desk. I don't really care about the blue glow, but in the middle of the night, if the office is glowing blue, like, it would be nice if there was a way to turn it off when it's not in use. But that's just like a little tiny nitpicking thing. As far as that, all the motors, the servos, no other parts have had any issues or failures in the last 7-8 months. Was literally just that one little piece of tubing that I cut off. Yeah, so literally just snip and then pulled the hose over and that was good. Now, as for, has it been holding its calibration? As far as I know, yes. That being said, I haven't done like a super accurate spot test against it. I am going to ICP test my tank probably in the next few weeks, so I think I'm going to order up a couple test kits, and with that, I'll probably do a full range of tests just before I send it off, kind of the same day, do the sample, and then send it off and do a comparison. And it's always a good way of doing a bit of a spot check, and that's something I did with the Mastertronic in the past, so I'll also do it with this guy as well. So I think that will be pretty good. So yeah, I know when they first came out, I did have a ReefDudes code that gave you $100 off, I believe it was, and that probably still works. So if you do want to pick one up, I mean, might as well get yourself a discount. And yeah, if you have any questions on the Reefbot, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, overall, so far so good. 7 or 8 months in, still going strong. Now, as always, guys, if you enjoyed this, be sure to hit that like button. If you're new, please subscribe. I'll catch you guys on the next update.